Obviously, Kieran Cannon is the latest Fine Gael TD to announce that he won't be running in the next general election due to toxicity. But if a business was to lose a third of its staff, many of them in the prime of their careers, and they were saying that the reason they were leaving is because they were sick of customer complaints about the quality of the product, wouldn't the management of that business hold some culpability? Do you think that Fine Gael top brass should kind of have some self-reflection about what's leading to the current atmosphere that many of these TDs are citing?
So if I was to kind of use your analogy in my answer back to you, the leadership of the party, whether it be the Taoiseach, whether it be ministers such as myself, of course we always have collective responsibility for where conditions stand for those who are working within a party. So yes, we do. We take responsibility, and I certainly do. I spoke to Kieran earlier on today at some length regarding his decision. I really regret seeing him go, but he is still a young man. He wants to do something different with a phase in his life, which I fully respect. But to kind of deal with your analogy a little bit more, it's not so much the performance of an individual business. If you were to extend your analogy the entire way, it's about how the whole economy feels. Like politics all over different democracies is facing real pressures in dissatisfaction from voters, and those who are in politics feeling increasing pressure, particularly through social media. So it's not just the performance of an individual business, it's the activity that we're all involved in. And if I speak to my colleagues in other European countries, they're all facing the same challenges. They're all facing the challenges of societies needing more, wanting their political systems to do better. They're facing the challenges of where the abuse from a tiny minority, you can feel like it's permeating your public life because of the use of social media. And then if you are working really hard to try to meet the needs of your constituency, you leave yourself very open to them as well. So all of my colleagues, many of my colleagues in other countries feel the same pressures. Fine Gael, Irish politics is not alone in this. But as I said, even today, we see evidence of people who still want to become politicians despite these challenges. I thank them for doing that, and I would encourage anybody who's thinking about public life to give it a go. It's a great thing to do for a party.
So I'm sorry, very briefly then, would you say maybe if not Fine Gael, do you think there's a problem at the core of the whole political class, if you want to put it that way, or the way politics is being done in Europe at the minute, that would that be leading to greater dissatisfaction among the public, or is it simply the fact that social media is amplifying complaints that otherwise wouldn't have been heard in previous eras?
God, I could speak about all this day, Ben, all day about this.
Sure.
I think there's a whole lot of different things coming together. Political life, representative democracy is facing challenges everywhere at the moment. Societies want their politicians to do better. Societies expect more in terms of the availability for housing, better progress on climate change. They feel so angered about conflict that's seen take place across the world. All of that gets radiated back into politicians. Being a politician is a demanding role to do, but it's also a very rewarding one. And I'd still make the case for us, even when I see colleagues who I really admire and value decide to do something else for a while.